What's up, guys? Donald Trump is actually attempting to rewrite American history right now. I'm not kidding. I know some of you think I'm a sensationalist, but I'm really not fucking around. And I decided this time, this may be a longer video, but we're going to go through it ourselves. This is whitehouse.gov. Let me go to the main page here so you could see this is the White House's official page. America's back. You know, you go down to executive actions, and then you get access to all of these crazy executive orders. And the one that he signed yesterday, which is very scary, there's a couple of them that are absolutely horrifying. We're going to go through 3 of them, but the first one that we're going to go through is this: restoring truth and sanity to American history. So let's open this up and let's explore this. But before we do, I just want to remind you guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Also, if you want to help the channel out financially, please do. You know, this is real independent journalism, real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a fucking foreign government or anything like that, okay? And, you know, I need help. I need the money to keep the show going. So if you want to help, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can help us out on Patreon. You can become a member on Patreon. On top of that, you can also join the demagnification program if you have a loved one who is in the MAGA cult. You could also buy some of this dope-ass merch, Know What You Don't Understand, in the shop down below. You could get the 40% off discount on Ground News, and you can become a member on the YouTube channel to get early access to these videos. Regardless, let's just dive right in here, guys. Let's just dive right in here. So we've got this. Let me zoom in for you. Restoring truth and sanity to American history. So I read through this already, guys. The overhaul of this, too long didn't read. We're going to read it. But the TLDR is Donald Trump wants to remove pieces of American history, or art pieces, or, monuments, or, pieces in museums that reflect the bad side of America. And the thing is, that's an important part of history. Take it from me, especially if you're one of those people who's like, bro, I wish you just stuck to history. America has a dark past, and you know this, slavery and the Jim Crow era and the Civil War. Like, there's a lot of dark American history, not letting women vote, all this fucked up shit, the lynching that we did, everything. It happened, and we move forward, but the only way that you can move forward is if you acknowledge the terrible shit that you've done. Well, Donald Trump, sorry about that, he has decided that we are going to just delete and remove anything that says that America was bad. And on top of that, he wants to start putting back up all of those Confederate monuments and Confederate statues that we as a society pulled down over the past 5 to 10 years, because we had things commemorating the fucking Confederates who were traitors to the goddamn nation. But we're going to read through this together, and we're going to try to piece through it. So this is just a whole bunch of bullshit. I already read this. He's essentially just saying essentially all this is saying is, why is it still highlighted? Over the past decade, there's been an attempt to rewrite our nation's history, and it's like revisionist history. And what he means by that is everybody's saying that America is systemically racist. Now, it's very ironic that they are claiming that we are revisionist for pointing out true factual evidence. Take it from me. I mean, I fucking studied history and political science. Just like America, the American system is built upon systemic racism. There is racism built within our institutions, and all of the institutions that we have now are remnants of those very, very racist institutions, and we need to try and, get rid of that type of shit. That's why gerrymandering and redlining, these are all things that we had to fix. This is why DEI was a thing, to try and fix all of this systemic racism that's built within our institutions. So he's just saying all that's bullshit. All right. This is all just bullshit. But the important part here. Okay. So, the National Museum of African American History and Culture has proclaimed that, quote, hard work, individualism, and the nuclear family are aspects of white culture. The forthcoming Smithsonian American Women's History Museum plans on celebrating the exploits of male athletes participating in women's sports. These are just a few examples. It is the policy of my administration to restore federal sites dedicated to history, including parks and museums, to solemn and uplifting public monuments that remind Americans of our extraordinary heritage, consistent progress toward becoming a more perfect union, and unmatched record of advancing liberty, prosperity, and human flourishing. Museums in our nation's capital should be places where individuals go to learn, not to be subjected to ideological indoctrination or divisive narratives that distort our shared history. So you got to read between the lines. What is he saying? He's saying that, like, monuments to, like, freed slaves, they're gonna be taken down because that shows that America had fucking slaves. He's saying that things like monuments to, like, I don't even know, probably, like, you know, Gold Star mothers, they're probably gonna fucking take those down because that's a sign that American mothers have had to deal with the death of their children. Like, these fucking people are dismantling history in front of our own eyes. To advance this policy, we will restore the Smithsonian Institution to its rightful place as a symbol of inspiration and American greatness, igniting the imagination of young minds, honoring the richness of American history and innovation, and instilling pride in the hearts of all Americans. So let's see. The Vice President, in consultation with the Assistant to the President for Domestic Policy and Special Assistant to the President and Senior Associate Staff Secretary Lindsay Halligan, Esquire, shall work to effectuate the policies of this order through his role on the Smithsonian Board of Regents with respect to the Smithsonian Institution and its museums, education and research centers, and the National Zoo, including by seeking to remove improper ideology from such properties, and shall recommend to the President any additional actions necessary to fully effectuate such policies. So they're just going to decide what monuments we can have. Donald fucking Trump and J.D. Vance are just going to decide what monuments we can and cannot have. This is probably put together by the Daughters of the Confederacy, you know, the descendants of, like, Confederate generals and shit. Because they're going to put back up all of those goddamn statues. Let's see. The Vice President and the DOMB shall work with Congress to ensure that future appropriations to the Smithsonian Institution, 1. Prohibit expenditure on exhibits or programs that degrade shared American values, divide Americans based on race, or promote programs or ideologies inconsistent with federal law and policy. Holy shit, they're going to get rid of, like, Black History museums. Bro, they're just going to get rid of Black History. Black History Month is cooked. I'm telling you, it's not coming back. Celebrate the achievements of women in the American Women's History Museum and do not recognize men as women in any respect in the museum. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about in regards to that. The Director of the DOMB, Secretary of the Interior, shall take any other measures within their authority to promote the policy of this order. What else do we got? Restoring Independence Hall. The Secretary of the Interior shall provide sufficient funding as available to improve the infrastructure of Independence National Historical Park, which shall be complete by July 4th, 2026, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Here we go. Now we're getting into the juice. Restoring truth in American history. The Secretary of the Interior shall determine whether, since January 1st, 2020, public monuments, memorials, statues, markers, or similar properties within the Department of the Interior's jurisdiction have been removed or changed to perpetuate a false reconstruction of American history, inappropriately minimize the value of certain historical events or figures, or include any other improper partisan ideology. Improper partisan ideology. So this right here is saying we're going to put Confederate statues back up, and this bottom part means that if you are not like a Trump loyalist, if you're not MAGA, you are considered partisan ideology. You're considered an enemy of the state. You should be very afraid. Take action to reinstate the pre-existing monuments, memorials, statues, markers, or similar properties that were taken down. So this literally, this just says they're putting back up the monuments and statues of like Civil War, Confederate generals, traitors to the nation. Imagine if Germans put up a statue of Hitler. Take action to ensure that public monuments or whatever within the Department of Justice do not contain descriptions, depictions, or any other content that inappropriately disparage Americans past or living, including persons living in colonial times. So this is like when you see a blurb that says like this monument is to honor the 250 slaves that Thomas Jefferson kept in his home, which is real, right? But that would be disparaging to Thomas Jefferson. So this means that that is going to be removed. Sweet fucking Jesus. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect the authority granted by law, the functions, whatever. So that's fucking horrifying. We just read through this ourselves, okay? And if you're MAGA, you were here. You read through it with me. Donald Trump is literally trying to put back up monuments of Civil War traitors to our nation. He's trying to delete any sort of history that is disparaging to American past, which is like, I mean, dude, we've done so much fucked up shit. Even MAGA can agree. We've done a lot of fucked up shit. Every nation has done fucked up shit. That's how you progress. You learn. You do something fucked up, and then you say, damn, that was fucked up. We probably shouldn't do that again. What's so bad about that? What's wrong with admitting that you did something wrong? Well, I mean, Donald Trump, literally rule number 3, never admit defeat, right? Like his rules of business or whatever. Yeah. So I don't ever want to hear some fucking red hat wearing MAGA fuck tell me to stick to history ever again, because would you like me to stick to real history, or would you like me to stick to like the new whitewashed version of American history? Which one? Let's just keep moving on, because that is not the only executive order. There's 2 more executive orders that I just want to cover for you that are very horrifying. And I'm just, you come to your own conclusions. So there's 2 of them that I want to talk about. Here's one. Addressing the risks from Jenner and Block. Now, Jenner and Block is a law firm, okay? And it's one of the 2 law firms that I think they represented the people who brought up the Russia hoax, right? The Russian investigation. And Donald Trump is literally making executive orders, right? This is an executive order directly against the law firm that was investigating him. And it's not the only one. He's done it to another law firm. So he's like using the executive power for like straight up vindication. Just listen to this for a second. My administration is committed to addressing the significant risks associated with law firms, particularly so-called big law firms that engage in conduct detrimental to critical American interests. Many firms take actions that threaten public safety and national security, limit constitutional freedoms, degrade the quality of American elections, or undermine bedrock American principles. Moreover, law firms regularly conduct this harmful activity through their powerful pro bono practices, earmarking hundreds of millions of their clients' dollars for destructive causes that often directly or indirectly harm their own clients. But look at this. Jenner and Block is yet another law firm that has abandoned the profession's highest ideals, condoned partisan lawfare, and abused its pro bono practices to engage in activities that undermine justice at the interests of the United States. For example, Jenner engages in obvious partisan representations to achieve political ends, supports attacks against women and children based on the refusal to accept the biological reality of sex, and backs the obstruction of efforts to prevent illegal aliens from committing horrific crimes and trafficking deadly drugs within our borders. Moreover, Jenner discriminates against its employees based on race and other categories prohibited by civil rights laws, including through the use of race-based targets. This is where we get into the meat and potatoes here. This is important. You guys, these are Donald Trump's executive orders as the president of the United States, and it sounds like his tweets. In addition, Jenner was thrilled to rehire the unethical Andrew Weissman after his time engaging in partisan prosecution as part of Robert Mueller's entirely unjustified investigation. Andrew Weissman was just a fucking lawyer, dude. It doesn't matter whether it's real or not. He's a lawyer. Andrew Weissman's career has been rooted in weaponized government and abuse of power, including devastating tens of thousands of American families who worked for the new defunct... Let me get rid of the blue. Defunct Arthur Anderson LLP, only to have his unlawfully aggressive prosecution overturned by the Supreme Court. The numerous reports of Weissman's dishonesty, including pursuit of non-existent crimes, bribery to foreign nationals... So, dude, Donald Trump is signing literal fucking executive orders that are targeting the law firms that have represented people that are suing Trump. Okay? And this isn't the only one. Jenner and Block there. We've got Wilmer Hale. He's got the exact same intro. Big law firms, right? So let's scroll down to the meat and potatoes again. Where is it? Is this it? The office goods to prevent the transfer of taxpayer dollars to federal contractors whose earnings subsidize, among other things, activities that are not aligned with American interests, including racial discrimination. He means DEI. Government contracting agencies shall, to the extent permissible by law, require government contractors to disclose any business they do with Wilmer Hale and whether that business is related to the subject of government contract. Holy ever-loving fuck. We're so fucking cooked. We're so absolutely cooked. This guy is a goddamn dictator. And now, lawyers are going to be scared to represent people who are targeted by the Trump administration because now the Trump regime, because now the Trump regime is willing to go after law firms themselves. The judicial system, the justice system is gone. I know I tell you to fight, and keep on fighting, but do not break the law. Not now. Be very careful because this is so... They're disappearing people, man. You know that girl from Tufts, PhD student, Ramezia or something? Ataturk? The Turkish national girl disappeared. People with fucking masks, no badge, no fucking uniform, just came up to her on the street, kidnapped her, disappeared her. This is not the time to fuck around. That's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Helps me a lot. Costs you nothing. If you want to help the channel financially, there's a whole bunch of ways. Don't forget to become a patron. And thank you to all the members of the YouTube and to the YouTube channel and to all of my patrons. This show is not possible without you guys. We'll make it through this.